Am I audible now? Am I visible, my friends? Am I visible and audible, friends? Am I audible and visible? Yes. Clearly audible? Clearly audible. Clearly audible. Is both the and side sounds, the sounds from the outside, are the sounds from the outside? Are the sounds from the outside eliminated? Okay. First I will touch upon the series of investigation reports published in Northern India Potrika, yes, Northern India Potrika, yes. I'll first mention the series of Abhijit Babu. Is it audible and visible now? Clear? And side sounds, outer sounds are eliminated? Okay. Once I told you the total active political life span of Subhash Chandra is about 24 years, from 1921 to 1945, that is 24 years, of which 12 years he was in the jail. Clear? And you see the total active sannyas life of Sri Chaitanya before his disappearance, from taking sannyas to take disappearance, is 24 years. Again, you see more or less the total span of existence in the form of Bhagavanji, but mainly in northern India, from 1961 to 85. That is again approximately 24 years. And while he stayed for 24 years in northern India, in different places, in disguise, there was no reporting of his stay in any journal, no discussion in any assembly or parliament, no discussion. On the contrary, you see, the Solmari is discussed in parliament and in assembly and in media from the very beginning. Here is the basic difference. And only the Bhagavanji chapter is exposed in media after disappearance of Bhagavanji from Ram Bhavan in 85 September. Clear? And only after that, a group of journalists from this locality went into investigation. Their reports are in different magazines, even journal, dailies, Hindi and English, of which one series is in Northern India Patrika, about 17 issues, starting from 20th December 1985 to 23rd January 1986. 17 issues. This is a bundle. Here, their investigation reports are published. And some of the lines I will quote now. In the first article, the Intellectual Reveal, headline Intellectual Reveal, by Nirmal Nivedan and Vishwambhor Nath Arora. One line I am quoting. On September 18, 1985, a group of 13 men, highly, some of the lines I cannot read, very old collection, on one hand, rustic on the other, hurriedly cremated a body on the Guptar Ghat, on the banks of the sacred grey-green Saraju river, where Lord Ramu himself and he alone had taken Jal Samadhi long ago. This is one of the beginning sentence. And they have reported that there was central government investigation files, but they are not declassified. They are not open. Then the man of mystery, another headline, and in the report it is written, always this sadhu, this Bhagavanji, has maintained a constant security and constant mistrust and constant secrecy. She has maintained constant security, constant mistrust and constant security. Security, mistrust and secrecy. And you see in this article, written, none could see his face. Always he talked from behind the curtain. But one man, who is that man? Panda Ram Kishore Mishra, who is a Tirtha Purohit of Ajodhya. He is a Tirtha Purohit of Ajodhya. Could meet him and meet him directly face to face. And this man could meet the Bhagavanji face to face. Others were not allowed. It's not possible to read out this bundle. I am telling you that the secrecy, security of the person, how he stayed there behind the curtain. And then another headline, the man of mystery second, stalking the river. And there, a story of his fracture of leg. Under this story coverage, he has shifted from one place to the other in two trucks in the midnight mysteriously. None could see him. When he has disappeared from one place to the other, none knows. Under this story of compound fracture of the leg, that story is there. And you see another headline, the third, a fair lady comes at midnight. and fair lady is Leela Rai. He went there in 1962 early part. That part is reported here in 85, not at that time. Man of mystery. And another very important man, Dr. Shankarananda Giri, had seen the man face to face. Face to face. Shankarananda Giri. Very important in society and religious circle. And this man arranged medical equipments from a foreign country. Medical equipments from a foreign country. Dr. Shankarananda Giri, a Bengali sage of the high repute, visited the man. Open. Swami Shonokananda was highly respected in the area and was founder of the Sanatan Dharma Indoor Hospital, a charitable institute existing to this day. He brought from out the foreign country some medical equipments for Bhagavanji. Another headline, I please to keep this secret. Another headline, the man of mystery. Another page. If you go through another page, a saint or a statesman. A saint or is this Bhagavanji a saint or a statesman? This is by Nirmal Nivedan and Vishwambharnath Arora. Mystery man is continuing. Sixth issue, the telltale tape. During his stay in Brahmakunda, Dr. R.P. Mishra and late Dr. T.C. Banerjee, both from Faizabad, came quite often. Dr. Banerjee and members of his family were the only people allowed inside in this place. Yes, there are at times Bengali visitors. In particular times, Bengali visitors. Yes. The lame law lacks. And but to the room behind the curtain, only small boys and small girls could enter. No other persons could. The lame law lacks. Yes. The law could not touch him. The close brush with the administration. Man of mystery. Going on. Yes. The ultimate refuge. And the man of mystery goes in this and this and I had never seen him. The thought of having his darshan did constantly haunt my mind as we were approaching the Guptar Ghat area. I requested Mahatmaji, that is Mahatma Sharan, some saint along in the procession of the dead body, Mahatmaji, to uncover it for a moment. But as Dr. Mishra's son Anupam was sitting nearby, he turned down my request. That means, initially in the room, Dr. Mishra's wife did not allow any person to enter into the room where the dead body was kept. He was guarding the gate. Then in the procession, so his 13 persons were taking the dead body to the Guptar Ghat. The son of Dr. Mishra was there, Anupam was there. He did not allow to uncover the face of the saint, that is Bhagavanji. And you get the story, huge story. This should take long time to read. From there you will get the mystery. And from here you will get, and this Bhagavanji has got connection with the royal family of Ajodhya. Royal family of Ajodhya has connections with this Bhagavanji. And one thing I heard from the wife of Dr. R.P. Misro, last when I went there, wife of Dr. R.P. Misro, inside, bringing us to the inside room, a chair is there. Dr. R.P. Misro's wife knows Bengali very well because her academic life, one part was in Calcutta. She disclosed that after this disposal of the dead body in the Guptar Ghat, no, before that, this disposal of the Guptar Ghat, Bhagavanji stayed here for a period in his house, in her house, that is house of Dr. R.P. Misra. From there, he went somewhere else. That no one disclosed. This is the story, and the story which I argued in the Justice Mukherjee Commission, that I argued that the body which was cremated in the Guptar Ghat is not of Bhagavanji. This is a different dead body cremated under this coverage. He disappeared again for the subsequent phase of his activities. The recopy, reactivation or replay of the same story which took place in Taiwan. I have told you, whatever has happened in the Guptar Ghat is a replay of the same story which took place in 1945, August, in Taiwan. The same. Now, I will come to these connections of this, a documentary evidence of how this, a connection. Remember, in this phase, as Bhagavanji, for 24 years, in North India, he was in different places. Let me quote it. Yes. In different places. In different places like Naimisharanya, Sitapur, Lucknow Hata, Lucknow area, Ajodhya, Faizabad, Bosti, in different places. And nowhere he has stayed, somewhere only for 6 months, somewhere 2 years. And whenever there is a rumor that he is Netaji, he has disappeared from this place. This is his story. He has migrated, moved from one place to the other to keep his secrecy and security. And always one word I have mentioned, mistrust. Always a highly man with a risk of security need to be suspicious. Quite natural. And always he is suspecting everyone. Quite natural for his security and security of his plan and projects. And I will, and of this whole 24 years, his movements from one place to other in 2 episodes his presence is seen in the campus of this disputed land of Ram Janmabhoomi in 2 episodes, just on the outskirts of this disputed land, just nearby, in 2 episodes. What for? What for? What for? Ki jonne? What for? And his interest about the Ram Janmabhoomi movement, his interest of the Ram Janmabhoomi, that I will show from the deposition of I have told you, Northern India Patrika has published series from 20th December to 23rd January 86. Total 17 issues. The last article was Subhash Bose. The authors were Nirmal Nivedon, Vishwambhar Arora, Kaushar Hussain, all these persons. And in this article also, this Bhagwanji was entering from Nepal to India. This Bhagwanji has relation to royal family of Nepal. He was for a period in the guest house of the Nepal royal family, at a distance from the few kilometers away from the Nepal royal family. And he was in Sitapur, Lucknow, Ajodhya, Faizabad, Bosti, etc. 1962, Shankar Nivas in Darshan Nagar, in an abandoned palatial building he stayed, that is in Ajodhya state. Also subsequently, again stayed for a period in the vicinity of the disputed land. And I will read out one deposition of to show you Bhagwanji's relation to the subject of Ram Janmabhoomi. I will, and that is deposition of Guru Basanta Singh, JMCI witness number 39. His age at that time was 66 years. Date of deposition is 14th August 2001. A part I am just quoting. In 1983, I was in Benares in service. That time, Dr. R.P. Mishra came to my family and my wife for accommodation of his grandfather. His grandfather is a big story. Wife of Dr. Mishra told me. Madam told me that because the grandfather's story was useful for Dr. Mishra. What was the story narrated in a way? Dr. Mishra told to the local people that once his uncle left home and became sannyasi. And after many decades, he has come back to live near to him, but he will not stay in my house. He will stay separately for his meditation. And my grand uncle, now his grandfather, naturally, this grandfather's story was useful for Dr. Mishra, R.P. Mishra, for keeping contacts with him. Because otherwise, others will suspect. Why this sadhu, a new man who is not related to the family, why Dr. Mishra is doing so much for him? Naturally, this story, that his grand uncle left home as a sannyasi, and he has come back after many decades to stay near to him for some medical treatment, but not in his house because he meditates in his own way. That story helped the Dr. R.P. Mishra and his family to keep contact without arousing any suspicion in the minds of the locality, extra suspicion. Okay, his grandfather was a saint. After discussion, my wife agreed to accommodation of that saint in Ram Bhavan. On holidays or on puja events, I came to house. Once I asked my wife, which saint you have accommodated? Saraswati Mata was Sevika. Do you know who Saraswati Devi? Mata was she was a widow in early age, only after birth of his only one child. And his father was Sanskrit Pandit, President Award. Plus, his father was a Purohit of the royal family of Ajodhya. In that source, Saraswati Mata came to take care of Bhagavanji. And for 24 years, she was with Bhagavanji. Saraswati Mata was, so far I remember, yes, we met only once, and then he died. He could not depose before Justice Mukherjee Commission. Saraswati Mata was Sevika of the saint. From Mata, my wife came to know that this saint is very powerful and great. He has never seen in the open. Stays always behind the curtain. My wife was very pious, religious lady. She was frequenting to the saint. The saint from behind the curtain talked to my wife. As the saint was very great, we usually called him Bhagavanji. This is the origin of the term Bhagavanji. All said he was very great. But strongest rumor was that Bhagavanji was Netaji. In holidays, after coming home, I went near to Bhagavanji. Bhagavanji from behind the curtain spoke to me. I have heard his thundering voice and felt his depth of knowledge on different subjects. I have heard his thundering voice and felt his deep knowledge on different subjects. Once, I remember that once the rumor that he is Netaji got very strong. I requested him to disclose his identity. Hearing this, he laughed out very loudly and said, quote, "My dream was that let the country come to the hands of the people. Bharat is independent. My dream is done. So, where is the meaning of your such question?" I was not happy on this answer. Mentioning instability in the country, I told, "Is this that Bharat which you wanted and which you dreamt of?" Again Bhagavanji laughed out loudly and said, "When I am living a religious life, what is the utility of your such question?" In 1984, Again I came home. Bhagavanji was speaking to me from behind the curtain. I expressed to him some of my personal problems. I expressed to him some of my personal problems. He told, quote, very soon your problems will be solved, unquote. I asked to Bhagavanji, in the country there are thousands of homes. Why you have chosen this home, this Ram Bhavan? I asked to Bhagavanji, in quote, in the country there are thousands of homes. Why you have chosen this home, this Ram Bhavan, unquote. In reply, he mentioned name of my late father, Guru Datta Singh. In 1949, Guru Datta Singh was city magistrate of Ajodhya, Faizabad. During his tenure as city magistrate, one event took place. I was astonished to hear it from mouth of Bhagavanji, because I never told him nothing about my late father. Gradually, many rumors about Bhagavanji settled down, but the rumor that his Netaji went on spreading. You see, this 1949 role of city magistrate is Bhagavanji knows. What is that role? As city magistrate of Ajodhya, Faizabad, he ordered placement of Ram Lala in that place, disputed place, and regular puja archana. Then the magistrate, his father, resigned, issuing 144. Issuing 144. He resigned. This Bhagavanji knows. This is one of the evidences proving connection of Bhagavanji with the Ram Janmabhoomi issue. Any doubt? Any doubt? And you see, I'll discuss now about few specific events. This Ram Janmabhoomi issue is not of this partition India, only of this predates to the Muslim era of Babur. In 1529, Mir Baqi, the general of Babur, demolished this and constructed some mosque-like structures. And in 1885, Raghubir Das, a priest, started a case when it was British India, 1885. British India, Sant Raghubir Das, a priest, started a civil case. And initially, that demand was for a temple on the side of the mosque. Initially, in 1885, the legal case started from 1885. And before that, one thing I tell you, before in the Mughal era, there are many Ram Janmabhoomi movement, many. In those days, there was no cases. Case was not possible against the Islamic rulers, Muslim rulers. That time, the Sanatanis, the Ram Bhaktas, they were doing movements and with big teams, they are thronging into this area. But every time, those movements were crushed and those who were killed by the swords of the Muslim rulers. And Sarasu river became red many times with the blood of the Sanatanis, the Ram Bhaktas. They are killed, butchered in thousands, many times. Almost on record there is, from the days of 1529, when Mir Baqi destroyed the Ram temple and created these three structures like mosque-like structures, about 20 times different movements in different times. And in the series of movements, this movement of Ram Janmabhoomi, we started from 1990 up to 1920, 1992, this movement. This is the last in the series, the last in the series. Before that, all movements were crushed by the sword of Muslim rulers. And every time, thousands of Ram Bhaktas had been butchered on the blood of these Ram Bhaktas. The water of the flowing river of Sarasu went red. And in 1949, I mentioned 1949, Ram idol appeared in the area. That is December 22, 1949. Which I mentioned just in the deposition of the, while reading the deposition of the Guru Basantosha. That is the deposition of the, yes, the owner of the Ram Janmabhoomi. Yes. Now in 1950, there was permission for puja, regular permission for puja. In 1959, a third Hindu shoot, that is Nirmohi Akra, for permission of the land for temple. 1961, a Muslim suit, UP Shundi board, they became the party. 1984, Ram Janmabhoomi movement started by BHP, one coalition ministry in Delhi under VP Singh, coalition ministry, and this VP Singh took that Mandal Commission report in the name of so-called social justice report. To counter that, Advaniji took Kamandal and strengthened the Ram Janmabhoomi movement in 1984. And L.K. Advani became the chief spokesperson from the BJP side. And Vishwa Hindu Parishad was getting strength day by day in different parts of the country. In 1986, the inner gate of BABRI opened. 86. And that time, the Prime Minister is Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi gave that permission. In 89, 9 November, Shilanyash was performed, when Prime Minister was Rajiv Gandhi, and BHP was allowed to perform Shilanyash. Remember, this was the political compulsion of Rajiv Gandhi. Remember, Rajiv Gandhi, during Rajiv Gandhi, this Shilanyash was allowed. And there is some role of the there is some role of Shankaracharya Swarupanandaji, some role, because Swarupanandaji had some role here, because before that the Supreme Court verdict was on Shahabanu case. In Shahabanu case, Supreme Court ordered corpus, that is compensation to the divorced Muslim lady, that is Shahabanu. But the Muslim religious heads, they told in Quran there is no system of corpus, that is the alumni compensation to the divorced lady. They became very angry against the Supreme Court verdict on Shahabanu case. But going down to the Muslim religious heads, in the parliament, Rajiv Gandhi nullified the Supreme Court verdict. That angered the Hindu sentiment throughout the country. And it was clear that Rajiv Gandhi has bowed down to the Muslim religious fundamentalists, Muslim fundamentalists. And to please these angry Hindus, Shankaracharya took that opportunity to get the permission from the government of India, the Rajiv Gandhi government, a permission from Shilanas to please the Hindu sentiment. This is another step. In 1989, all suits were referred to in different courts, referred to the Allahabad High Court. And in Allahabad High Court, here in 92, that event I have already mentioned, demolition of these three disputed structures, BABRI structures. And you think, how can these BABRI structures be destroyed? On the 6th December 1992, how can? Under the banner of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, lakhs of Ram Bhaktas has gathered around this disputed area. Is it possible to break the tomb-like structures, three tomb-like structures? Is it possible? Because these tomb-like structures are not made of cement or cement, sand and bricks. All they are lime and stone. Lime and stone structure can survive thousands of years. But cement construction usually do not survive more than 100 years. Is it possible by general, untrained Ram Bhaktas to break such a strong structure within hours? Impossible. Because in a crowd, when you are in that disputed area, this can accommodate only few thousand people. And few thousand people, when bodies are side by side, in close proximity, in a crowd, it is not possible to use your arm with a very strong weapon. You cannot have a maneuver, you cannot have excursion, you cannot to use your arm in your hand to hit the structure, to break the structure. You need to move up the hand with that strong iron instrument, heavy instrument. How can you move in a crowd? How can you move? How can you have your maneuvers? You have no excursion of your body, no space of your movement of your body, no space of movement of no space of movement of your hand. You cannot. It must be done by a team of very trained persons and a knowledge of military engineering. Highly skilled groups. They appear under cover of this crowd. They form from this. This area is a big mystery. And destruction of these structures was not the agenda of the BHP, not the agenda of the leaders like L.K. Advani. Because the destruction actually brought a big loss, political loss to the BJP. Because just after demolition, Government of India, Narasimha Rao, dismissed 4 BJP governments, including very strong UP BJP government. There is a political loss. And the destruction was not in their agenda. It was done by some other force under cover of this government. And you look to the behavior of the Prime Minister Narasimha Rao in his house in Delhi. Though before that, UP government has given affidavit in the Supreme Court that by their force they will protect the 3 structures. But UP government failed. And what Prime Minister did? In the morning of the 6th December 1992, in the morning, Narasimha Rao told his persons in the house, I will be on meditation throughout the whole day in my prayer room, in front of my deity. Whatever may happen outside, don't disturb me. I will be in meditation today. He entered the meditation room. Throughout the day he was, and the demolition process was completed. And after long hours, he came out when demolition is complete. And you see, everyone has played his role. BHP has played his role without knowing the final purpose. PM has played his role without knowing, maybe without knowing. And just after demolition, he dismissed 4 BJP governments and under ordinance acquired the disputed place of Ajodhya, 87 acres, and also disputed place of Krishna Janmabhoomi, Mathura, also Benares, which are being encroached and acquired by the Muslim rulers, which became Waqf properties, all these things. All the properties are acquired by the ordinance by the Government of India. Now all these properties are Government of India property. Clear? The status of the disputed land in Ajodhya is changed by demolition. And course of legal, the moment the status on the ground is changed, the course of legal events subsequent is bound to change. This is a historic moment and for a positive purpose. And this same, I think, you see the same mechanism. When in the Bangladesh Liberation War, Mujibur Rahman did not know what is going to happen. He played his role. Indira Gandhi did not know what is going to happen. Army went in. And the shortest, sharpest war in this world after the Second Great War is Bangladesh Liberation War. Shortest, sharpest, finest war with the cleanest possible way. Birth of a new country. It's the only example after the Second Great War. Though in many areas, about 50 areas, 50 wars, some wars are about 50 years, some are 70 years, some are 20 years. Long. But this is the shortest. Because the main designer is somewhere else, behind everyone. Here also, role of PMO, central government, role of UP government, role of BHP is from their angles. None knows what is ultimately going to happen because the designer is somewhere else. Then on January 7, 93, Narasimha Rao government issued ordinance to acquire 67.7 acres of the land in Ajodhya disputed area. 2010, Allahabad High Court gave the judgment. Before that, first Allahabad High Court, for the first time in Indian history, used Archaeological Survey of India to excavate a land, to see really to whom the land belongs. Mahakal in one place has told, yes, I will show you the history by digging soil. মাটি খুঁড়ে দেখিয়ে দেব কি ইতিহাসটা। I'll show you the history of India by digging soil. Yes, you see, Archaeological Survey of India came into the picture by order of the Allahabad High Court and excavated and saw materials of the temples. And 2010, a High Court verdict splitted the land into three parts. One went to the Waqf Board, 1/3, Nirmohi Akra 1/3, and Ramlala 1/3. But against which, again, the Hindu side went to the Supreme Court. Also Muslims went. And Supreme Court in 2019, historic 5-judge Constitution bench gave unanimous judgment. Though there was one Sikh judge, one Muslim judge, all gave the whole land, the Hindu side, for Ram temple. At the same time, they gave a land on the bank of Sarashu for construction of their mosques, whatever they can. This, I think I can. Now, I request you to see the mystery of the demolition of these disputed structures in Ajodhya on 16th December 1992. The secrecy, the military secrecy, highly secrecy of operation by a very highly trained, highly skilled military precision to operate it, and behavior of the Narasimha Rao ji, and final judgment, Ram Janmabhoomi. And Ram Janmabhoomi, Konkona, you are asking me what is the benefit of this? This is the, what is the benefit? Forget all these histories. Think, a huge temple is there. Do you think in Makkah, Medina, the first religious place, or most important first religious place, Makkah, Medina, what is their income from this religious tourism? Thousands of crores of rupees, thousands. A huge income of the Saudi Arabia. The huge tourism, religious tourism. Can you, in the Vatican, what is the income in Vatican area from this religious tourism? Think in this line. And the moment Ajodhya will be there, this Ram temple open, the people from whole of Asia, think, the people of Thailand, Indonesia, Burma, Malaysia, Korea, Cambodia, Laos, they think they are the Ram is their ancestor. They carry the heritage of Ram. Even today, the royal family of Thailand is in the name of Ramu. This time, when I went there, Ramo X is ruling Thailand. Even today, any religious festival of the royal family is to be started by a priest of Hindu community. because they tell some of the Hindus converted to Buddhism. The mother of Buddhism is Hinduism. Therefore, they are all religious functions, social functions started by a Hindu priest. If not a Hindu priest is available in Thailand, they have to be taken from India by plane to Thailand. And then the process will be completed by their Buddhist priests. But it has to be started by a Hindu priest, either from Thailand or from Bharat. Even in Nepal royal family, all the religious festivals, the blessings will come from Shankaracharya of Dwaraka Sarada. Even a huge section of the Koreans, they remember, they say, one of the princes was married to Korea, and they are the generations of that family. They call Ajodhya as Mamar Badi. That is Ajodhya is the place of maternal side, grandmother. And the whole part of this Asia will be culturally in relation to this Ajodhya, to this Bharat. This is our cultural bondage. This cultural bondage will strengthen our positions in the whole of the Asia. And from this cultural bondage will evolve a diplomatic relations. Diplomatic will be in a far superior position. And many of the countries in Southeast Asia, Ramayana is their greatest epic. Even in Indonesia, the biggest Muslim country of the world, they worship Hindu gods and goddesses. And you think the last most important, I tell you, my item is the intellectual decolonization of the mind. Still today, as British has taught us that history, our Ramayana, Mahabharata is all stories, imagination. And we are that, whatever they have given us, taught us, we are vomiting that without scrutinizing the things. After this excavation of the soil of the Ajodhya, it is proved that Ramayana is a part of history. From other excavation, it is proved that Mahabharata is a part of history. Ramayana Mahabharata is not merely a legend. It is part of our history, part of our historical heritage. Ram is our ancient grandfather. We are carrying on their heritage. This line of thinking will make our mind very strong, very spirited. A nation, to build a nation, needs many things. You need agricultural field, workers, doctors, engineers, scientists, mines, gold mine, coal mines, petroleum mines, everything. But most important is your intellectual wealth, your spirituality, your spirit. There are many countries where there's not big mines, gold mines, coal mines or petroleum mines, not much big green fields, not much many workers, intellectuals, but they have got their spirituality, their spirit, their courage, mental. It is the intellectual sovereignty, which is the most important asset of a nation. Intellectual sovereignty, intellectual freedom. That will make a nation strongest. The moment we will know our own history or in the history, think of our history will be about 5,000, 6,000 years. One of the oldest civilizations in continuity, surviving, not dead, never dead. You think of our civilization, you compare it. I have told you, our Bharatian civilization, Egyptian civilization is also same age, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years, but that is dead. That is dead now. That's in the archives only. A new Islamic civilization is there. The Egyptian civilization is not surviving today. Roman civilization, Greek civilization, Maya Inca civilization, all are dead. They are all in the libraries or in the museums. Everywhere there is new civilizations, either Christian or Islam, whatever, or some other thing. But our civilization, oldest, still surviving in continuity. Maybe wounded at times, but never dead. It is living in continuity for 6,000-7,000 years. Continuity, living. That is the specific single example in this world. A civilization is living in continuity, though wounded at times. That is our strength. And remember, I have told you, our Bharatian civilization, living, Greek civilization dead, Rome civilization dead, Egyptians dead civilization, Maya Inca dead. All civilization has got a common characteristics. That is, they are the all worshippers of murtis, idols. All are idol worshippers, murti upasana. Those are dead. They are living in continuity. The moment we will know it, write it, tell to our generations, we are knowing and teaching true history. And this is needed to build a new nation, a mighty nation. The moment this intellectual sovereignty, this mind is decolonized, automatically your scientific developments will come, your economic developments will come, militarily you will be stronger. They are the byproducts of the moment you are intellectually free, your intellectual sovereignty, your mind is strong, spirited. These are the products automatically. Your economic growth, your military growth, your scientific growth, technological growth, and diplomatic relations, mighty diplomatic relations will gradually take place. And different countries, the moment you are strong, different countries will naturally gravitate to you. Gravitate to you. In a media, put a crystal. Smaller molecules in the media will gravitate to the bigger crystal. Crystal will go bigger. India one day very soon going to lead the world. Initially by spirituality and gradually by economy, by our military strength, by our intellectually, technology, everything. Will be the very stronger, very stronger. Ram temple is very important, very important. I have told you, after the partition of India, many important events have taken place. 1949, Kashmir War, 47 Kashmir War, 62 China War, 65 Pak War, 75, 77 emergency, 71 Bangladesh War. All these events are there. But there are some changes in the political sphere of this country. But most important is the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. Most important. It has changed the mindset of Bharatvarsh. Mindset. And naturally, the moment mindset is changed, the socio-political texture is changed. The nucleus of the dynamics of Indian politics social politics, sociology and politics particularly had changed. The nucleus is changed. Nucleus has shifted from the so-called secularism, I call secularism, so-called democracy, I call demonocracy. It has shifted to nationalism. And our nationalism stands on Bharatian cultural heritage. Bharatian cultural heritage. This is our standing point, our basis on which we are standing. Yes, we will learn new things from all over the country, all over the world. From other countries we will learn new sciences, new technology. We will acquire, we will learn, we will imbibe that. But without forgetting our past, our heritage. Okay. Our heritage is the bedrock of New Bharatvarsh, bedrock. Where gradually we will acquire, we will imbibe all informations, all knowledge from all over the world. Ram Janmabhoomi movement, by Ram, we have started decolonization of our mindset. And naturally, the other gains will get. Collection of data, Anindo Sundar Das, analysis of data, interpretation report, excellent. Anindo, voice loud and clear. তাহলে আমি কি তাহলে দুটো করেই এখন ইউজ করব, এই head equipment and this one also I will use. Is both the two is helping? Bhagavanji was in total security crisis with his identity from British as well as their engaged agents like Nehru's. Yes, not only Nehru's, communists. Nehru also is a communist. Not only British but also USA. All are enemies. Bhagavanji was a total security. Please see if volume can raise. Yes, I think volume is raised. Shubhendu, Shengupto, clear. Okay, may I stop it now today? Yes. By Ajodhya temple, we give a new platform for cultural bondage with many nations of Asia. Significant section of the Muslims of this country, they think Ram is their heritage. Many, you think that Ram, even during the, I have seen in late 80s and early 90s when the Ram Janmabhoomi movement was proceeding, many Muslims in groups came to donate and to help. They also joined the processions. Donations came also from Muslim sides. South Korean royal family think grandmother from Ajodhya, a princess was married to Korea, and they are grandchildren. That's why from Korea many persons every year come to Ajodhya to visit their mamar badi. Yes. And this Ajodhya will be a new place of tourism and also religious tourism that will bring wealth to this locality and also pave the way for the better diplomatic relations with the countries of Asia. And I have told many times that this century is going to be the Asian century. Already this is the Asian century. During first Great War, it was the Europe was controlling the world. And after the Second Great War, this is then America became the number one power in the world. Then during the Cold War, the world became bipolar. And you see gradually now the power center has shifted, the world has become multipolar. But Asia as a whole, Russia is behaving many a time not as a European power, but as an Asian power. China is an Asian power. India is coming up as an Asian power, Asian giant. Already there are 5 small countries, economically very strong, like Korea, and all the Southeast Asian 5 small countries. They are pioneering in production of the consumer goods. They are the production house of consumer goods for this world. Those small countries, they are very pioneer. And gradually all these countries of Asia, small countries, still now they are related to China production system. But now they will gradually shift their direction from China to India. Now India also become a production center for consumer goods for the world. And the growth rate of China is declining. India is coming up. India's growth prospect is very good, very good. Let me stop here today. Will Akhanda Bharat be a reality? Akhanda Bharat will be in a way which we are thinking may not be that way, but in coming days, Pakistan will be broken into pieces, no doubt. Burma may break into pieces, and then there is a chance of reorientation of the South Asia. Abhijit Babu, hope Ram Janmabhoomi will have a very positive impact in Southeast Asia, both in cultural and political hemisphere. Yes, collection of data analysis, yes, voice loud. Let me stop here today. Any other question? And the most glorious part of our history, that is the Hindu era, that is the Gupta Yug. Our civilization is mainly the cultural civilization. And whatever expansion to the in the west or east to the other parts of Asia is a cultural expansion of from our side. We never conquered the lands by sword or by guns, either in the west, mainly in the Southeast Asia. We never conquered the lands by sword or gun. We conquered the areas by our cultural heritage. Thank you. Good night. Good night.